done did his thing, man. He did his thing. Mr. T meets Mr. Betrayal. Mr. T meets Mr. Betrayal. The kids call me old timer. Why? Cause I'm shining. Brighter than Richard Hart's Black Diamond. And tell the children put the guns down and stop wilding. They on demon time. You hear the police sirens? Fatherless kids and mothers who are childless. Some adults are ill-stricken and they're dying. You're not a man if you can't look them in the iris. Hex IV positive with the virus. The post-chain strains smoke it in papyrus. And post-X will be more desirous. The cosmic diviner. The cosmic designer structured my environment. Had to atone for my sins for refinement. And teach the kids to avoid confinement. And not get back for the work they got on consignment. And not get back for the work they got on consignment. Learn about crypto, new information highway. Move smart with the transaction signing.
From the Crypto Wonder Podcast. Hope you're doing well. Let's get right into it. So, shout out to everybody who went to the PulseCon. Shout out. And Richard Hart came on stream and was, I guess, for an hour. This was yesterday, and he was speaking and asked some questions by people who were at the conference and stuff. And let me tell you, like I've been saying for how many months, I look, for what it's worth, folks, for what it's worth, me personally, I'm bullish. I've been bullish on, man, I know it's a bear market. My strategies, my life, not yours. Shout out to Stumbles. My strategies are, I'm not going to tell you what my strategies are because it's not for you to know. Do your own research. Do what you have to. I am bullish. Y'all have no, it's like you have no idea. Each day that goes by, we're one day closer to the next all-time high. For Hex, we're one day closer to the Pulse Chain mainnet launch. One day closer to Pulse X. I mean, for real. The man just gave another shout out. I mean, when they were asking him about vertical integration, right? Consensus, you got the coins, he's working on he has somebody working on the wallet. They need fiat on and off ramp. And then also checked off Hedron, Icosa, Maximus. Listen, people, I'm just bullish for the whole entire community. I'm just bullish for this community. I'm bullish for the community. What's interesting is, in my opinion, that really nobody really knows about this. Nobody really knows. How can you say that, Wonder? This whole community is 107,000 stakers in Hex now. And, look at all the people in the Pulse Chain Telegram. There's more people in the Pulse Chain. Excuse me. There's more people in the Pulse Chain Telegram group there is in the Hex group. There's more people in, there's a lot of people in Pulse X. People know. Well, in the grand scheme of things, people don't know. People don't know. And what reminds me of this is when he had a Twitter Spaces, not that he had one, Richard, but he was speaking on a Twitter Spaces, and this was, I guess it was the NFT, one of the spaces he spoke where the crowd was basically NFT, right? And Bitcoin crowd. And one of the guys who was asking him questions, one of the naysayers, I should say, questioned him and said, "What do you mean you're forking Ethereum?" Right? The guy said, "What do you mean you're forking Ethereum? Like, what is that?" Like, he didn't know. Richard said, in his Richard fashion, was like, "You're supposed to be so smart, and you don't even know that I'm forking Ethereum, creating, a new blockchain, layer one called Pulse Chain. Where have you been this last year?" Right? And this guy was not only a Bitcoin person, but he was well familiar with Ethereum, right? So there are people who've been in crypto for years who don't even know about Pulse Chain. They don't know about Hex. They don't know about what's happening, which is why I constantly remind myself, and I say this all the time, we have front ran the entire world. We are front running the entire world. There's not even 1 million people yet in all of these, in all of the groups, Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX, and a lot of that is everybody is, many Hexicans are dealing with everything, including myself, So it's not like you have individuals who are just dealing, like the majority, like let's say there's 50,000 Hexicans, they just there, and they're not dealing with the 100,000 Pulsicans, and the people who sacrifice for PulseX are separate from the whole. No, that many people, we have our hands in everything going on, including the derivatives, including, I'm sure that doesn't even total 500,000 people. Folks have no idea. We are so early, it's not even funny. We are so early, it is not even fun. Like, do you realize? It's like hard for people to understand this. I don't know how to even say it any other way. If you agree with me, leave a comment. Leave a comment. I mean, we're so fortunate right now. We have choices and options and what to do with how to do this and that and this. The first thing when you get into Hex is you learn about Hex. You learn about how the token works. Not just by holding it, but by staking it, right? And then that opens the doors for these other things that's coming and that are here. Derivatives that are helping Hex go up and to the right. And in the meantime, providing, other staking measures and pools and yield and all kinds of stuff. That you have even Hexicans that maybe not even too thrilled about, and that's okay. But as a collective, as a whole, we beat everybody. Like everybody. I'm telling you, there's not even so far yet. There's not even 500,000. Like, think about it. Ethereum has how many people using Ethereum? How many people use Ethereum? Is it safe to say more than 1 million people use Ethereum? I mean, Ethereum, the first blockchain to introduce smart contracts to the world. Is it safe to say more than 1 million people use Ethereum? Okay. There are people in Ethereum that don't even know that Pulse Chain is going to be a thing. That Pulse Chain is creating an opportunity to create the first and largest airdrop in crypto history. There are people that don't even know that. Why? Because you have a bunch of issues. A bunch of issues. Even now. Even now. Like I used to listen to other uh, content creators back in 2017, 18, 19, and some of them still operate the same. And they will have their videos filled with news articles from different media, crypto media articles, website, online outlets. And they would give up to date stuff on Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these other cryptos, whatever. Not one of them would talk about Hex within the last 2.5+ years. Not one of them spoke about Pulse Chain. Not one of them spoke about how Richard, created a situation to donate to the Sens Foundation. Right? You see what happens in these coin ranking sites. They don't accurately capture the real ranking for Hex. So it's just this large, orchestrated, concerted effort that's been taking place to keep Hex down. And even now, I've seen people who've created content within the last 2 years, and all of a sudden I see the growth in what they're talking about, but they're still there's so much that they still need to learn. And within the last 2 years, because I've been in the space longer, but I've seen this one particular content creator, he's growing his channel, and he's kind of now he's all Bitcoin, right? He used to talk about other altcoins too, but now he's just all Bitcoin. And he's telling people that, Bitcoin is, digital gold. This is what he says today. He started 2 years ago learning, but now he speaks as if he's well versed, as if he's an expert. And this is how he comes across in his content. Young guy, young in the space. I'm not going to say young in age, but young in the space. And he's speaking a Bitcoin narrative as if Michael Saylor just wrote a script for him to talk, to use for his content. And I'm like, wow, it was cringe-worthy. He doesn't even talk about DeFi at all. And many people are like that. He's just one example out of many individuals who, I guess, also close themselves to opportunities that could be readily available. And I think that's a disservice that a person does to themselves when you don't cast a wide net. If you want to learn about crypto, you just cast a wide net and absorb all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that way you know what's worth learning about and what's not. You get to keep what works. You get to keep the good. And if you land on something like what's happening here with the Hex ecosystem, oh, you're incredibly fortunate. You're winning, because that base, that foundation right there is what will set you apart from everyone else who built their base on a house of cards, on sand. Because I used to subscribe to the Bitcoin Talk, not the website or whatever, or, media, social media thing, not that, but the Bitcoin ideology and then the whole philosophy, blah, blah, blah. And I give Bitcoin its reverence because, it's the first crypto. I'm still waiting for Bitcoin to go up in price. I'm still doing, because it has its merit. But I don't invest anything into that anymore. My energy has been diverted into something more pure. And just by that, it's Already crypto, they say how many people invest in crypto? What, 0.01% of the world? 0.1%? As far as individuals, I'm not talking about, companies, Grayscale and BlackRock or whatever. I'm not talking about them. It's about your individuals like you and I. What do they say? 200 million people? And out of that lot, 250 million, whatever, let's say it's 500 million. Let me be generous and just say 500 million people. You see, 500 million don't know, which is really like 7.5 billion. People just don't know about what's taking place here. But you and I know. This is where we understand and we see how the sages of old have always said knowledge is power. We're effecting that level of power right now by exercising and utilizing the knowledge and making it work for our benefit, to our benefit. That is what's happening. It's like it's more than just an experimental phase. These are things that are happening, that people are utilizing crypto. They're incorporating crypto into their daily lives. Full time, 100%. That's nothing to sneeze at. There's nothing to just, dismiss. We are ahead. We are so far ahead, so early. I mean, we got to give thanks. You believe in a higher power? Give thanks. I believe in a higher power. I'm a spiritual person too. Religious, spiritual person. I believe in a higher power, and I have to give thanks. Like this is, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. I had to put my own people onto game. Like I had to share information with them because no one in my community, like where I live, where I work, what I do on my off time, no one. And I'm around a lot of people. No one knew about what I was talking to them about with this ecosystem. No one. And multiply that times thousands. But we're here. We are here. Yes, I've onboarded. Yes, the work continues because I like to see people succeed. I like to see people uproot themselves out of a bad situation into a better situation. This is a part of who I am, right? I help people by profession. And so why wouldn't I want to give a piece of information to somebody that can benefit them, especially if it's about making money? And because this thing is so powerful, so new, and it forces people to become accountable for their actions. Because what do we understand with crypto? Being the owner of your own bank, becoming your own bank. Not your keys, not your crypto. Own your own private keys. Don't share your keys with anyone. Protect your keys. Understand the disadvantages of having third parties involved with anything you're doing with crypto. Understand the risks. All of these things add to your level of responsibility, your level of accountability. How do you become more accountable for your financial well-being? Something that we were not trained to do. We weren't trained to do this as children. We weren't taught the value of money. We weren't taught how money works in school. Okay? But crypto is teaching us these things. Crypto is teaching us the necessity, because we've seen what these central banks have done. We've seen what these governments have done. We've seen how these banks have been bailed out. So I look at all the stuff going on, what's happened, banking crisis 2008, et cetera, all this craziness, and how crypto has just basically changed the whole tide, and is transferring the power away from these oppressive financial legacy monsters onto the hands of the people, where I firmly believe it belongs. Don't get me wrong. And I'm looking at it like a lot of people don't know about this. They just simply don't know. But we know. So this is why I say all the time, not only do we have to be responsible for what we know and what we're about to receive, we have to take onus. Not just that, but we have to be grateful. Extremely, never forget to be grateful for this position that we're in right now. I don't care if you only have 10 cents to your name. If you've already immersed yourself into this system, the knowledge alone in utilizing crypto and learning about this ecosystem is priceless. And once you apply this knowledge, you will set yourself up for a very bright future. A very incredibly bright future. Right? Sometimes we compare what we have to someone else. Don't worry about what the other person has. Worry about what you have or don't have that you're about to have. Worry about you. Because there's always going to be someone else that has more of something, and in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. What matters is you're here. You're here. And what is it that you're going to do today that's going to effect real change for you tomorrow and for the days and years to come? And how will your work that you're creating today, how will it also affect in a positive way the lives of those who you care about? And as far as finances, let's just keep it limited to that. Finances, money, making money, and this ecosystem, it's like there's nothing more. You don't need to go any further. We've arrived. You've made it. You've made it. You've made it. Because what happens is they could only ignore for so long. They could only try to gatekeep for so long. They could only dismiss and laugh, but for so long, because eventually the energy is going to continue to expand, because you can't create or destroy energy. You just have to learn how to wield it. You have to learn how to utilize it. You have to respect it. It's going to expand to a certain level where this ecosystem will not be ignored. People won't be able to ignore it. They're going to have to join. You can't beat them, join them. And it won't be a thing like, to me, I'm not going to see it as a insult. I'm not going to say, you see, you loser. That's right. We won all this. That's not my approach. No. Not my approach at all. Because truth be told, like, More people should know. But I also know that the more people that come into the system, that's going to affect the yield. The rewards will decrease. But it is what it is. I'm not a greedy soul. I'm not a greedy soul. But guess what? We're not there yet. We're not there yet. As above, so below. When this bear market subsides, whenever it subsides, I don't even care, because I've been through the bear markets already. Like, I don't even care. When this bear market ends, and that next bull market, hold on to your seats, hold on to the rails, hold on to your hat, hold on to your shirt, because you're about to lose it all, because you're going to be flying so much in the air. That wind is going to blow everything up off you. You're going to be butt-ass naked going straight to space. Because there's no limit to how far we go. There's no limit. It is what it is. No limit at all. We made it. Like, we already, it's just, we're here. That's what I mean by when I say we made it. We are the winners. We are the winners already. If you want to think about winning and losing, we already won, even though people feel like they lost. They sacrificed too much, or they didn't sacrifice enough, or they're going through some type of financial hardship, whatever. You've made it this far in life for a reason. You've made it this far in life. The sum total of all your experiences that you had gone through created who you are today. And here you are. This should be a cakewalk for many people. As far as the waiting, delaying your gratification, being patient, being balanced, being calm, steady. Just be steady. Keep a cool head. This should not be so complicated. Don't take the emotions out of this equation. We're dealing with math here. We're dealing with code. We're dealing with, you understand? Things that are, elements of life that are just void of what we feel. I know we're human. It's hard. I know. Trust me, I know. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I'm not a good liar at all. I can't fake the funk well at all. It'll show. It'll show. But I'm sharing this is because, I understand. I understand how difficult it could be. Hodling is hard. It's hard, but we're worth it. We need to understand the purpose of it. We need to understand that there's something that's coming within the ecosystem. We already here. We already have so many things available to us right now. We have the premiere of DeFi as far as Hex. The premiere of DeFi, and it's not even 3 years old. It's approaching 3 years. It's new, and people don't know about it. And then you have products that's working on top of Hex. That's giving you another opportunity to front run more. People like to create a wonderful future. Let's just not forget to be 100% grateful, because there are many people that are not going to have what we're about to receive. It's just what it is. There's more people that are not going to receive what we're going to receive. There are more people that are not. There are more people that are just going to be left behind. They're just going to be left behind. We know life isn't fair, but at the same time, while we understand where we are, we could be kind and leave a kind gesture or say something uplifting to somebody, kind word, or something. Because the power that's coming is going to come great responsibility. With power comes great responsibility. Get ready, people. Get ready. You know, just get ready. Get ready. Future's absolute, supremely bright. I hear all the negative from the news, which I don't. Listen. We already know. We already know. As long as they keep printing money, whatever they're doing, we are going to excel on this side. Whatever they got going on in the world, inflation, stagnation, whatever, economic, just turmoil, layoffs, pandemic, whatever. It doesn't. We are going to continue to fight through all of that and excel. Because anything that we find that's going to be seemingly appear to be like a failure will just be a story. Will just be a story that we could add to our winnings, our success. That's it. That's it, people. Much love, much respect to all of you. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Take care.